Welcome to today's news wrap up. Let's dive right into the top stories making headlines today. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz hinted at the possibility of running for president in 2028 during an interview. He expressed openness to the idea, stating that he would consider it if he believed he would make a meaningful contribution. Walz emphasized humility, noting that while he is prepared by his life experiences, he is cautious of pursuing roles driven solely by ambition. He also highlighted the importance of service and being ready if called upon. His comments reflect a thoughtful consideration of responsibilities and challenges involved in seeking higher office. Critics have raised concerns about his potential candidacy based on his past leadership decisions, like myself. And I hope he do run in 2028 so he can get land blasted again. So please run in 2028. A former Democratic National Committee staffer turned reporter, Pablo Manriquez, leaked plans for immigration and custom enforcement, or ICE, raids in Northern Virginia. The disclosure has raised concerns about the safety of ICE agents and law enforcement involved in deporting criminal and terrorist illegal aliens. Critics argue that such leaks endanger operations and demand accountability for those responsible. Some have called for Manriquez's arrest to uncover the source of the information and prevent future breaches. The situation has sparked debates about national security and the ethical responsibilities of whistleblowers. President Trump approval ratings has reached 54%, marking a historic high 2 months into his return to the White House. Younger voters, particularly those aged 18 to 29, have shown increased support, with approval rising from 51% to 56% in just 2 weeks. His administration had focused on aggressive policy changes, including spending cuts, expedited deportations, and restructuring government agencies, such as the creation of the Department of Government Efficiency led by Elon Musk. While his approval among Republicans slightly dipped, it rose among Democrats, reflecting a complex and divided national sentiment. Critics and supporters alike acknowledge his rapid pace in delivering on campaign promises and reshaping the country. A summit between President Trump and Putin is being expedited following a heated exchange between Trump and the Ukrainian President Zelensky at the White House. The meeting, which ended abruptly, has led to optimism in Moscow about advancing U.S.-Russia relations and potential economic deals. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz criticized Zelensky for rejecting peace talks and warned that time is not on Ukraine's side. Zelensky, facing accusations of ingratitude, emphasized the importance of U.S. support and reiterated his desire for peace, which I definitely don't believe, though he insists on strong security guarantees. The developments highlight shifting dynamics in international diplomacy and the challenges of resolving the ongoing conflict. Actress KJ Smith stirred controversy with her comments at the Oscars, suggesting that Black Americans consider relocating to Africa due to the tense political climate in the United States. What tense climate? You move to Africa. You go first. How about that? I'm sick of these celebrities coming out trashing the country, trashing the United States. If you don't like it so much, then go. No one is stopping you from going. She emphasized the importance of understanding cultural roots and pointed out that some countries in Africa are welcoming Black Americans with open arms and offering citizenship. No, thank you. Her remarks, which reference America's current turmoil under Trump. What turmoil? We're loving it. This is what we voted for. Received backlash on social media, and rightfully so. People blasted her. Critics argue that her opinion reflects divisive identity politics and is out of touch with increasing support for Trump among Black Americans, igniting debates about her perspective and the broader political climate. She is so in the minority when it comes to this stuff. President Trump criticized Ukrainian President Zelensky's statement that peace is, quote, very, very far away, suggesting it reflects a lack of commitment to ending the conflict. Trump argued that Zelensky's reliance on U.S. and European support undermines efforts for peace and warned that America may not tolerate this stance much longer. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about that a little further into this. I'll get into the breaking news that came out just a few minutes ago. But UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer pledged military aid to Ukraine, but emphasized the need for strong U.S. backing. National Security Advisor Mike Walz also expressed concerns, stating that time is not on Ukraine's side for resolving the conflict. Reports indicate that Trump and his advisors are considering reducing U.S. military aid and intelligence sharing with Ukraine. Again, more to come on that story in a little bit. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi has vowed to obtain all documents related to Jeffrey Epstein after discovering that an FBI field office in New York may be withholding thousands of pages. Bondi initially received 200 pages, including flight logs and victim lists, but learned from a source that additional files exist. She has demanded the release of these documents, emphasizing the public's right to know while ensuring victim confidentiality. Bondi criticized the lack of transparency and pledged to hold those responsible accountable. I got another story pertaining to this in a little bit. Bondi criticized the lack of transparency. She also highlighted President Trump's commitment to transparency, referencing his executive order to release information on high-profile cases like JFK and Martin Luther King. The situation has sparked debates about accountability and the handling of sensitive information. An FBI scientist, Dr. Jason Bannon, has expressed confidence that the COVID-19 pandemic likely originated from a lab incident at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Now, mind you, we know this to be true, but they're making an even deadlier COVID-19 virus at that same lab, which is just ridiculous. But his investigation revealed that researchers at the WIV conducted risky experiments on coronavirus strains under inadequate safety conditions. Classified information suggests 3 WIV scientists fell ill with COVID-like symptoms in late 2019, further fueling suspicions of the lab leak. If y'all follow me on my old channel, y'all know I've already reported this way back years ago. This is old news. But Dr. Bannon highlighted undisclosed research and numerous samples stored at the facility as evidence of unsafe practices. Despite these findings, he noted ongoing bias towards the natural origin theory in government reports, sparking renewed debates over the pandemic's origins and calls for greater transparency. Senator John Kennedy has introduced the No Propaganda Act, aiming to eliminate federal funding for NPR and PBS. He argued that taxpayer money should not support what he described as opinion journalism, and I agree, citing NPR's recent purchase of a $201 million headquarters near the Capitol as an example of unnecessary spending. Wow. The proposed legislation seeks to amend the Communications Act of 1934 to prevent future federal funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, rescind unspent funds, and prohibit it from accepting government money. I'm all for it. Conservatives have long criticized NPR and PBS for alleged left-leaning bias. I don't know why I got to say alleged, because it's obvious by now. It should be obvious. And recent investigations into their underwriting practices have intensified scrutiny. Critics of the bill claim it represents a partisan effort to weaken publicly funded media. The Trump administration has paused all aid to Ukraine, thank God, including weapons already in transit, following a heated White House meeting between President Trump and Zelensky, which I've already referenced and talked about over the last few days. But this decision has sparked international attention as it comes amid ongoing tensions and discussions over Ukraine's future. The move underscores disagreements about strategies and priorities between the two nations, raising questions about the broader implications for U.S.-Ukraine relations and military support. Because Ukraine signed a deal to pay back Great Britain for their money, but we don't get any payback. He refused to sign the mineral rights so we can get paid for the money that we gave Ukraine. But critics and analysts alike are watching closely to see how this decision will shape diplomatic efforts and conflict resolution moving forward. Portland, Oregon has faced a significant dysentery outbreak attributed to rising homelessness and an influx of refugees and asylum seekers. This is par for the course for a Democrat-ran city. It's ridiculous. Health officials have identified the spread of Shigella bacteria resistant to antibiotics as a major concern, with over half of reported cases linked to homelessness and drug use. The city, known for its sanctuary policies, has struggled to track the impact of immigration and homelessness contributed to its challenges. Critics point to progressive governance, which is exactly what it is, as exacerbating the city's decline. Y'all can pay me to visit Portland. With Portland now facing social and economic hardships once uncommon in the area, the situation prompted discussions on public health, urban policy, and the consequences of political decisions. Well, they voted for it, and they got what they voted for. Lastly, the head of the FBI New York field office, James Dennehy, resigned under pressure after it was revealed that his office has been concealing thousands of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. Attorney General Pam Bondi had demanded the release of all files, emphasizing transparency and accountability. The initial release of the documents was heavily redacted, leaving the public frustrated and demanding more disclosure. Dennehy reportedly faced an ultimatum to resign or be fired, raising further questions about the handling of sensitive information within the FBI. The incident has intensified scrutiny over the Epstein case and the FBI's role in withholding critical evidence. The FBI is protecting someone or a group of people. I wonder who these people are. I can't wait to find out. But that's all for today's news wrap up. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.